I've been asked by a student from the University of North Texas from a consumer studies class to answer some questions about Lolita fashion. So I'm going to have my fiance read them to me, and I'm going to answer them. I haven't written out any of the answers previously because I wanted my answers to be off the top of my head and as like me as possible. So with that being said, let's get started.
What about the Lolita culture interests you?
I really like how the clothing looks, first and foremost. I love the frills, I love the lace, I love the prints, especially with Sweet Lolita. They're so cute and they make me feel happy. All the pastel colors just really make me feel happy, and I just really like it. A couple of years after I had been into the fashion, so I probably got interested in Lolita fashion early high school, which for me would have been 2004, 2005, and then I didn't start wearing it until late high school and early college, which I graduated high school in 2007. And a couple years after that, someone talked to me about Lolita fashion and feminism, and how a lot of clothing today in typical, like, for the typical like female clothing industry, how it's a lot of like pencil skirts and a lot of like bodycon dresses and just things that really shrink the female figure down and really cause a limitation of how much space women can take up, versus Lolita fashion with its like petticoat and all the frills, and it's so big and bright. It's a fashion that makes women take up a lot of space and be really noticeable, but doesn't conform to the same things in other fashions that may be more attracted to the male gaze. So I thought that was a really interesting thing about Lolita fashion. So for me, that's an interesting concept, and also definitely adds to it. I know a lot of men also wear Lolita dresses too, but as far as like the feminine side of it goes, that's what I was talking about. But first and foremost, I definitely like how it looks. It's super cute.
Do you have a lot of friends that are into Lolita as well?
I have quite a few friends that are into Lolita. Mostly, I used to get to see them a lot more when I lived in the San Francisco Bay Area. I would see a lot of friends at like meetups. I have a lot of like mostly like casual friends who are into it. As far as like people who are closer to me, of course, first and foremost, my best friend is a fellow Lolita, and she definitely, like, her outfits inspire me, and just talking to her about Lolita fashion is like a way to make us both feel happy. And we're also planning a Lolita convention, so there'll be more info on that on my channel. But yeah, aside from my best friend, I also have a friend named Avina who I don't get to talk to her very much or see her very much because she lives all the way in Florida, but she's been a Lolita inspiration for me, and she's great to talk to. And I also have a friend named Kiri who I try and see whenever I go to San Francisco, but I don't get to go very much anymore because I live in Michigan now. So yeah, those are three people that are a lot closer to me, but as far as like casual friends who I see during meetups, I have a few. So yeah.
Do your friends influence your fashion choices?
Definitely. So, oh, here's an example. So Michele, who, my best friend, who she's Milk Tea Fashionista on YouTube, she posted a video about wrapping ribbon and unboxing it and her review on it, which I will post right here. So here's a link. And during that video, while I was watching it, I just saw her expression on opening it and how much she loved the clothing, and she got the jumper skirt, and I was like, oh my gosh, I might really need that print. So before, I thought it was a little bit like I wasn't super into that print, and then I was just seeing Michele open it and like her expression and how much she loved it. I was like, wow, like I'm convinced I really need to. So then I ended up buying the skirt, and it's coming in the mail soon. But yeah, that's just one example, but my friends definitely like influence the styles and the prints and the fashion overall.
What do you look for in a Lolita retailer?
I definitely start by looking at the clothes. I really like pastels, as might be obvious behind me, but I have some darker clothes down there too. I really like Sweet Lolita. I don't have very many classic pieces, and I have exactly 0 things that would work with, well, maybe I have 1 thing that would work with Gothic, but, and as far as, like, subsets go, I don't really have many things that fall into different subsets. I just tend to go sweet to over-the-top sweet. But definitely pastel colors make me really happy. So if you look behind me, there's a lot of Angelic Pretty, because their style caters to what I like in particular. When I first started in Lolita fashion, I really liked Baby the Starshine Bird. It was probably my favorite brand, and then like it went to Angelic Pretty just as they got more and more and more and more sweet. But I have Innocent World pieces too. As far as like the overall retailer, I also look at my experiences with them. So like the people at AP USA like have been like, I would consider them friends, and like the people at the Baby the Starshine Bright USA, like just talking to them, like for example, Joshua at Baby the Starshine Bright, or Yuri at AP USA, like they've been super sweet to me, and like whenever I've stopped by in the store, like I can talk to them. I've emailed them a couple times. They're just really nice people, and so that definitely adds to it. Whereas like I don't know if there was another brand that this hasn't happened, but if there's another brand where I really liked the clothes but the store people were like not very nice, I can't say like I would buy it from there just because I liked the clothes. So it's definitely the attitude. And whenever I've bought overseas from AP or from Innocent World, they always include like a note, and it's like, thank you for shopping here, and like we really appreciate your purchase. And that's something like I've sold stuff on Etsy before, and that's something I try and do with like my customers. So it's really nice to see like when other brands do that for me.
What are a few vital products in Lolita culture, and is there anything outside of apparel and accessories?
Vital products. So I would say, well, starting with apparel and accessories, I would say vital products would definitely be a main piece like OP, I'm wearing an OP right now, or a jumper skirt or a skirt. And then if you get a jumper skirt or a skirt, you also need a blouse. And it can't just be like it can't always be a regular blouse that you see in the store, like a work stiff collar blouse that wouldn't really match. It has to be something with a more rounded kind of collar, something softer. And then from there, under things are really necessary. So petticoat, bloomers, to really have that Lolita silhouette. Otherwise, it's just a dress. You have to really have either that cupcake bell curve or that A-line silhouette. And I would say shoes are pretty important. You can't just wear like, I don't know, throw on some Nikes or something. It has to be like shoes that actually go with it. So like Mary Jane's, even some flats, and actually even some heels. I've seen girls wear like pretty heels with Sweet Lolita, and it's worked. So I mean, yeah. But those are definite staples of the fashion. Like you can't really put together an outfit unless you have those basic pieces. As far as accessories like necklaces, hair accessories depending on how you do your hair. Oh, hair accessories. Realized I was pointing at my coat. Hats and parasols and coats. I think those are all optional. They definitely add to the aesthetic, but they're more on the optional side. As far as things that are not accessories and apparel, it's a fashion, so I would say a lot of girls consider makeup a must-have. I don't. So I'm wearing makeup right now. I don't know if you can see it, but I don't always wear makeup. I mean, my eyelashes do curl up on their own, and I have pretty thick Indian eyelashes that keep falling into the whites of my eyes, and it's frustrating. And but a lot of girls say that you need like your face to stand out. I guess maybe it's my skin tone, or like maybe it's just I have a round face and I have round eyes and it already stands out. I don't know. I don't feel like in particular I need makeup, and honestly I don't feel like anyone really needs makeup. But I feel like if you're going to wear makeup, like practice and learn styles that work well and make you feel like cuter in the fashion too. So I know a lot of girls consider makeup a staple, but I don't. A lot of girls also consider nails a staple, but I mean, if you can see, I'm not wearing any nail polish right now, so I guess I broke that rule if it's a rule. But yeah, other than clothing and accessories, I really can't think of staples. I mean, a lot of people do surround themselves with like cute toys and like cute like flowers and posters in their room and stuff that would really add to the Lolita aesthetic and make them feel good even when they're like in their room, like in night clothes. Oh, and there's like Lolita night clothes and Lolita, so they're not really like, they don't fall into the fashion necessarily, but Lolita brands do sometimes put out like either night clothes or swimsuits. I know Meta has put out a couple of swimsuits, and those other side things can make you feel more involved in the fashion, even if you're like outside of Lolita or can't wear it all the time. So there's that.
Do you attend Lolita events? And if so, do you purchase new products in preparation, or do you usually work with what you have?
I attend Lolita events a lot less frequently than I want to, but I do. There's a very small meetup group in West Michigan, and I met with them all of one time. I'm not on Facebook, so I'm kind of blind to a lot of Lolita events. There used to be a lot of posts on LiveJournal way back when, and slowly the post number has been going down, I feel like, on LiveJournal, and there's so much on Facebook, but since I'm not on Facebook, I don't have access to that. As far as meetups, when I go back to San Francisco, I make sure and try to go to whatever APT parties are available, and if there's a baby event, I'll try to go to that too. For example, last year I got to go back around my birthday and Halloween. My birthday is November 1st. So I got to go to Angelic Pretty's Halloween mini tea party, and it was really cute, and I got to see a lot of people who I hadn't seen in a while. It was great. Honey, what was the rest of that question?
If you attend Lolita events, do you purchase new products in preparation, or do you work with what you have?
It depends on the event. So if it's like for example, for some brand tea parties, I've had to buy a dress in order to get a ticket for the event, because you have to make a purchase of a certain amount in order to qualify for the event to buy a ticket. So I think they do that to encourage people to like buy new prints that have come out. And then so because I bought that dress like so newly, I feel excited about wearing it, and I'll wear it to the event. For example, like Maki and Astika were supposed to come for an AP event last year, but they weren't able to make it. And right before they were like supposed to come, like Michele and I had bought Cream Cookie Collection. And so like if Maki and Astika had come and they had had that tea party, like I would have worn Cream Cookie Collection because I just bought it. So yeah, but I mean, as far as meetups go, and as far as like regular tea parties go, and if I don't need to buy something to qualify for the ticket, I'm not necessarily going to buy something just to attend the event. I like to challenge myself and go through my closet and put together like outfits that I haven't, like wear a dress in a way that I haven't before, or match it to a blouse or tights or something that I haven't put it together in the same way before. So it's kind of a fun challenge, and so I like doing that.
Is Lolita an expensive style to maintain?
Yes. Probably to my fiance is giving me a look. Probably to my detriment sometimes. I mean, obviously, if I was just into like $15 t-shirts, my life would be a lot easier. Or my wardrobe at least would be a lot easier to maintain and to purchase. So, when a new, let's say you have a t-shirt company that you like, and they come out with a new shirt, and it's $20, and you're like, okay, like I can pay $20. But for me, like if AP comes out with a new dress that I really like, then I have to think about, like, I have to really balance it, because it's going to be, if I want to buy the dress, and then especially when I get the matching accessories, it can be $400 or more easily for an outfit plus shipping. And so I have to really think and budget, like, can I really afford this at this point in my life? And, like, if not, then I have to think about, will I be able to find it on, like, used sales? So, like, on Lace Market or on Yahoo Japan or on AGL.com sales, like, will someone sell it later, do I think? Or is it a really, really popular print and it'll be really, really hard to find later? And I also have to think about, will the different brands re-release it? So, like, for example, I know a lot of people who were super excited when, back, I want to say 2 years ago, when Innocent World re-released the Lolita print, because that print was really rare to find. Like, it was just really, a lot of girls who bought it just really wanted it, and so they never ended up reselling it. And so if you wanted that print and you missed out on the initial sale, it was like basically impossible to find. But then when they re-released it, it was really good for a lot of people who wanted it. So I have to take those things into consideration, which might not happen in other fashion styles, but in higher fashion, so like I think like brands like Moschino, for example, they're definitely way out of the scope of Lolita, but they have really expensive clothing and they release it once during that season, and if you can't get it at that time, that's it. And so that's way more expensive than a lot of the Lolita brands I like. And so it just is a whole budgeting process that wouldn't happen if I was into more simpler fashions. So yeah.
Are you expected to behave a certain way as a Lolita?
Okay, so here's the thing. I think so, yes. Do I? Not necessarily. So, I definitely, will just be on a bus in Lolita clothing and, like, sit with my legs apart from each other, leaning back, be like, if I'm tired, like, I'm tired. And so Lolita fashion for a long time for me was a daily wear, which I've toned it down a little bit at work and started not wearing Lolita fashion every day. I think I might go back to it because I miss it. But yeah, so since it's a daily wear thing for me, like I personally am not going to act a certain way all the time, especially because I mean, to give you insight into my personality, I started with being into Fairy K, and back when Decora was more popular, when I was in high school, I was into that fashion, and so I'm kind of a, like, hyper, all over the place kind of person, and I suppose maybe that's why Sweet Lolita appeals to me, because it's, like, a little more in line with that behavior. But as far as I've definitely seen Lolitas who, are very princess-like and are very royal-like and or prince-like, and they will definitely like fold their hands over and very polite in just all of their mannerisms, and they are will have like tea time, and it's awesome. But I'm not necessarily like that in my everyday attitude. But the one thing I will say that's necessary in if you're a Lolita is to be polite to people, and that's something that it's whether or not you're a Lolita you should. But I think that it's really important because a lot of people outside the fashion who have never been exposed to it already don't know what to think about the fashion. And if you wear Lolita and you are rude to someone, it impacts other Lolitas very negatively, because the next time that they see another Lolita, they'll think, oh, the people who wear these are really rude. And so I think that is the one necessary attitude of Lolitas, is to be polite. Don't let people walk on you. Don't let people say bad things about your clothing or you, but also be polite when you answer questions, because most people are honestly just curious. They've never seen this style before, so just be nice.
Would you be treated differently if you aren't dressing to a certain standard?
It depends what meetup. So if I attend events and I attend meetups, I go to ones with people I know I will like. I've seen reports on different Lolita forums really being mean. I mean, there's communities called GTFO EGL, which means get the F off EGL. There's communities called Behind the Bows, just where people are really mean to other Lolitas. But I mean, I feel like this happens in other communities as well. This happens with not anything to do with fashion communities, where people just bash each other on like Facebook or whatever. So, but I do see people saying, oh, this outfit doesn't go together. How could she possibly wear that? Ew, like that kind of thing. Or like, I've also seen people say that like Salopets and like non-Lolita clothing that like Lolita brands put out is inappropriate to wear at meetups. But here's how I see it. Okay, if it's a brand-based meetup, then you can wear whatever from that brand and go to that meetup. If it's like a brand-based event, some people wear like other brand, like fully other brand clothing to different meetups. For example, like there's people at baby tea parties who like wear fully AP, or like, for example, at AP tea parties there's a girl who like was only wearing bodyline, and it really depends. If you are new into the fashion and you are especially if you are like not able to afford certain things from that brand, and you get things from other places that you can afford, I think that's perfectly fine. You're there to have fun. Like, it doesn't really matter. And the one thing that I think is a little bit of a no-no to wear at brand tea parties would be replicas of that brand. I do think replicas are art theft. They are copyrighted prints that are being printed against the wishes of the designers from that particular brand. As far as wearing them on a daily basis or wearing them, I don't own any replicas, so I can't really speak much about it, but as far as wearing them on a daily basis, I don't think that's that big of a deal. Like, whatever, up to you. But I think it's a little bit like not in good taste to wear, say, like if Innocent World has a party, to wear like an Innocent World replica at that party. Like, I don't think that's in very good taste. So that would be the only thing for me. I've definitely seen girls judge low standards of, or judge people who have low standards of putting together an outfit, but whatever, everyone started somewhere, so I don't think it's a problem.
And finally, is there anything you want people to know about Lolita?
It's a fun fashion, and if anyone out there is interested in Lolita, or I see a lot of people who are like, I have been a lurker of Lolita fashion for so long and I've never had the courage to wear it, or I don't think it takes courage to wear something. I really don't. I think I just wear it and I walk out there, and if people look at me, then they look at me. But maybe they would look at me anyway. Maybe I have a piece of toilet paper stuck to my shoe or something and they're looking at me. They would look at me outside of the fashion. Maybe they would judge me because I don't know, my natural hair color is dark brown, or maybe they don't like dark brown hair. Like, people will judge you for anything and everything. But the thing is, there's a lot of people that won't. And there's a lot of people that will look at the fashion that you're wearing and think, wow, that person looks gorgeous. So I don't think it doesn't take, it's not that it takes courage to wear it. It takes remembering that people are people, if that makes sense. They're just people. Like, what is the worst that they can do to you? So yeah, as far as like wearing it for me, and before I get off topic, Travis, what was the question again?
Is there anything you want people to know about Lolita? So
it is pretty broad. So I wear it a lot to work, and I am a graduate student, and in a place that I wouldn't call it one of the most conservative places, but it's a lot more conservative than San Francisco. And I think I changed the view of a lot of people, because a lot of people would have first seen someone dressed like me and think they couldn't possibly be serious about science. But I mean, I've worn full Lolita outfits to grad school before and to lab, and they see me on the microscope, and they see me like in the vivarium, and just working really hard and doing really well. And I think it's shown a lot of people that what you wear doesn't have anything to do with what's up here. And that's something that would really be nice to change about the world in general, that what you wear doesn't necessarily have anything to do with your personal skill set. So I think that's, yeah. But as far as like, don't ever be too afraid to wear it. Just go out there and try on an outfit and be yourself. Is that everything?
That's all.
All right. This is a lot of fun. So I hope this really helps the student at University of North Texas. If you guys have any questions for me, you can comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Over and out, Airyu.